Uh, hey, welcome back, everybody. We're going to jump into continuing this engagement conversation. Another key piece to engagement is to make it normal. And so when students are off task or not engaged, that almost becomes the odd behavior in your classroom. So a way to do that is establish rituals. When students came in to my classroom from recess and they didn't have work on their desk to do like a do now, it was heads down as you think, reflect, or pray about your day. And that would just help them get into the room silently and quietly and help me get ready for my next lesson. That was just a really good ritual to have. Another ritual that we had to automate engagement would be that whenever they whenever they did a turn and talk, that they knew exactly who to talk to, and that was established. Foster teamwork. This is really good for the team points, understanding that everybody's in it together, and even some of the negatives like practicing walking silently in the hall during recess time. That really helped them be a team, and obviously that was really important that I framed that positively rather than telling them that they were in trouble. And also things like everybody standing up together from lunch or standing up together to leave the room, really focusing on those key pieces to help them understand that they're on a team. Captivate your students with the curriculum. If great teachers will find that they'll have the fewest behavior problems when they're actually teaching. And that's because you can engage them with what they're learning. Obviously, the big winner, we're a visual society, integrate technology, show kids pictures and short YouTube videos, not the 20-minute YouTube video, but a 3 to 5 minute video is oftentimes a great way to kick off a lesson or support what you're teaching within the lesson. And then also cultivate school-wide support when everyone across the school is doing something the same way. Jump on board with that, and that'll make it that much easier to build that into the culture. One of the last things I want to talk to you about as you go into your summer school experience is this idea of leadership. We're really good at being followers. We're all really good students, and we can all take and follow directions quite well. And understanding that being a leader of a classroom is a little bit different than being a follower and just following the directions. So always growing in our leadership as we learn to lead children by being in this position called teacher. A couple of things on this: say what you mean and mean what you say. Act, don't yak. Anger, threats, and warnings are great ways to tell students you are still trying to figure out how to do your job. So really avoid those three. Label all recess times as practice time. Practice any procedure during free time. And some students play, some figure out their problems. And using recess time as not time just to sit against the wall if they did something wrong, but also engaging them in problem solving strategies around what's going wrong. Understand high priority directives from your leaders versus other priorities. Kind of thinking about a bulletin board. Is getting a bulletin board looking perfect as important as getting the first day of materials printed off, and understanding what needs to get done versus what you want to get done? And also tapping into some of John Maxwell's leadership work. He has a great devotional where he captures his ideas of what it takes to be a great leader. And those attributes include being flexible, setting realistic goals, being an innovator, leading with humility, developing great relationships, and labeling teaching as a calling and not just a job. And finally, talking about some pitfalls. A focus on students liking a teacher will result in failure. Kids love teachers that are strict, prepared, and predictable. Add friends at Facebook, not your classroom. Kids need a teacher. Everyone has the same amount of time. A 95-year-old secret to a long life, he said, keep your mouth shut and get your job done. And then understanding that perfectionism killed the cat.